The Journey of Life, a story of education and growth. Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley surrounded by high mountains and flowing rivers, there was a small village called Eldoria. In Eldoria, the villagers believed that true education wasn't just about learning from books or gaining skills to earn a living. They believed that life itself was the greatest teacher. This belief was passed down through generations, and everyone, young and old, lived by the philosophy of life education. In this village, there was a boy named Rian who, like most children, was filled with curiosity and dreams. But unlike the others, Rian was restless. He didn't understand why he had to learn from everything around him when all he wanted was to find the quickest way to success. He wanted to be important, and he thought the only way to achieve that was by learning what people called useful knowledge, things like mathematics, science, and swordsmanship. He often questioned why he should spend time on things that didn't seem practical, like helping his neighbors, understanding his emotions, or even appreciating nature. One day, Rian went to visit the village's elder, a wise woman named Leora. She was known to be the heart of the village, someone who had helped raise generations and who was revered for her wisdom about life and the world. Elder Leora, Rian said one morning, "I want to be successful, and I want to learn things that will help me reach my goals. But everyone here keeps talking about life education. Why does it matter? Can't I just learn the skills I need and leave the rest behind?" Leora, who was tending to a garden full of blooming flowers, looked at him with kind eyes. "Ah, Rian," she said softly, "you are like this young garden. You only see the flowers on the surface, but you don't yet understand the roots that allow them to grow. You see, life education is not separate from your other learning. It is the foundation." Rian frowned. "But how can helping others or understanding myself make me stronger or smarter? Isn't it a waste of time?" Leora smiled, gesturing for Rian to sit beside her. She reached into the soil and pulled out a seed. "This is where all life begins. A seed. Do you know what a seed needs to grow?" Rian thought for a moment. "Water, sunlight, and good soil?" "Yes," Leora nodded. "But what happens if the soil is too shallow or if there's not enough water? The seed may sprout, but it will never fully grow. It will remain weak, easily uprooted by the first strong wind or drought. The same is true for you, Rian. You may learn many skills, and those are like the sunlight. But life education, learning to navigate challenges, understanding your emotions, building relationships, is like the deep soil and water that nourish your roots." Rian sat quietly, trying to understand. Leora continued, "Let me tell you a story. Once, there was a young man, much like you, who was determined to become a great warrior. He trained day and night, mastering the sword, and soon became the most skilled fighter in the land. But despite his skill, he was often defeated, not by his opponents, but by his own anger and frustration when things didn't go as planned. He was feared by many, but loved by few, for his temper and pride alienated those around him. One day, during a great battle, he was faced with a choice: to fight with honor or to take a shortcut to victory by betraying his allies. In that moment, he realized that all his skill with the sword could not guide him because he lacked wisdom and understanding. His mind was like the shallow soil, and he had neglected to grow his roots. Rian listened intently, imagining the warrior who was strong in body but weak in spirit. Leora continued, "Life education teaches you how to be resilient when you face failure, how to be humble when you achieve success, how to care for others when you seek your own path. It's about learning from every experience, whether it's a victory or a mistake. It's about understanding that life will not always be easy, but with deep roots, you will always have the strength to grow." Rian began to understand. "So, you're saying that without learning from life, without growing my roots, my skills alone won't be enough?" "Exactly," Leora replied. "True success comes from a balance of mind, body, and spirit. You may excel at your craft, but it is your ability to navigate the ups and downs of life, to learn from others, to understand yourself and the world, that will make you truly great." "How do I start?" Rian asked, eager to learn this new way of seeing the world. Leora smiled. You've already begun by asking the question. But start small. Pay attention to the world around you. When you face a challenge, don't only seek to overcome it. Ask yourself what it teaches you. When you interact with others, try to understand their perspectives. Reflect on your emotions, why you feel certain ways, and what you can learn from those feelings. And most importantly, never stop growing. Life education is not something you graduate from. It's a lifelong journey. From that day forward, Rian began to look at life differently. When he trained with his sword, he also learned patience. When he made mistakes, he reflected on them, using them as opportunities to grow rather than to feel defeated. He began to appreciate the wisdom in everyday moments, whether it was in a kind gesture from a friend, a tough lesson in failure, or the simple beauty of a sunrise. Years passed, and Rian grew into not just a skilled warrior, but a wise and compassionate leader in his village. He realized that true success was not only about mastering his craft, but about understanding life itself. His roots were deep, and because of that, he could weather any storm that came his way. The story of Rian teaches us that life education is about more than just acquiring knowledge or skills. It's about growing in understanding, compassion, and resilience. Life teaches us through every experience, good or bad. And it is this wisdom that allows us to thrive, no matter the challenges we face. Like Rian, we all need to develop deep roots in life. Roots that are nourished by reflection, empathy, and a desire to learn from every moment.